Aloha and good evening, everyone. My name is Sheena Pinal, and I'm here tonight to talk to everyone about bipolar disorder. Before we begin, can anyone tell me what bipolar disorder is?
Bipolar disorder is a mental illness that affects your attitude.
Very close. Bipolar disorder, previously known as manic depressive order or manic depression, is a mental illness characterized by extreme mood swings. The mood swings are between mania and severe depression. The U.S. currently has the highest rate of bipolar Americans. The illness affects 5.7 million Americans, which is 2.6% adults. 1 in every 5 people that suffer from bipolar disorder end up with suicide. Bipolar disorder can happen to anyone. It's not a disorder that can happen to certain people with certain ethnicities. It doesn't pick and choose. It's just anybody. If it's not treated, it can lead to risky behaviors, damaged relationships, damaged careers, and sometimes death. There are 4 different types of bipolar disorder. These 4 types include bipolar 1, bipolar 2, cyclothmiacs, and rapid cycling. Bipolar 1 is the most serious form of the disorder. This form includes 1 or more episodes of manic depression. Manic episodes or mixed episodes between mania and depression. Bipolar 2 is a milder form of bipolar 1. There will only be 1 manic episode, but continuous depression episodes. And the depression episodes will be severe and last for a long time. During bipolar 2, there is no mania episodes. They're known as hypomania episodes because the high in hypomania is not as high energy as manic episodes. Cyclothmia is a milder form of both bipolar 1 and bipolar 2. This disorder includes several hypomania periods and shorter periods of depression. In other words, a person can be very energetic and then go to severe depression, but it won't last as long as bipolar 1 and 2. And the 4th type is rapid cycling. Rapid cycling is when a person experiences 4 or more manic episodes, hypomania, mania episodes, or depression states within any 12-month period. Rapid cycling can happen in any of these 3, bipolar 1, bipolar 2, or cyclothmia. When it happens, it brings severity to all 3. Sometimes it's a temporary condition, sometimes it lasts for a long time. When it happens with one condition, it will move it to the next stage. So for example, if it happens with bipolar 2 constantly, the person diagnosed will be re-evaluated and go to a stage bipolar 1. If all of these stages are not treated correctly, they may end up with risky behaviors, damaged relationships, damaged work and school relationships, loss of a job, failing school, and sometimes death. The exact cause of bipolar is unknown, but several factors known to be involved in causing and triggering bipolar include genetics, hormonal imbalance, brain chemical imbalance, and environmental factors. Genetics have been proven through studies such as the twin study, the Johns Hopkins University study of bipolar parents and comparison study, and the Stanford University study of genetic connection of bipolar biological parents and their children. Imbalanced hormones may be involved in causing or triggering bipolar disorder. Environmental stressors can play a role in triggering bipolar episodes. Some examples of factors could include abuse, mental stress, and loss of a loved one. Once bipolar episodes are triggered, they progress. Experts say that chemically imbalanced neurons are one of the causes of bipolar. Imbalance in these three brain chemicals, norepinephrine, serotonin, and dopamine, cause mood disorders. Some of the manic symptoms you will see include high energy or optimism, unrealistic beliefs of one's abilities, little or no sleep but high energy, racing thoughts, quick talking, highly distractible focus, and impaired judgment. Unlike manic symptoms, depression includes feeling hopeless, sad, or empty, irritability, inability to function or feel pleasure, constant fatigue, no appetite or little appetite, dramatic weight loss or weight gain, and concentration and memory problems. In severe cases, a person may experience delusions, hallucinations, and constant thoughts of suicide. Although there are no cures for bipolar, there are treatments to help manage bipolar disorder. Treatments that help manage could include medications, cognitive behavioral therapy, psychotherapy, and life changes. Medications such as antidepressant, anticonvulsants, ketamine, and antipsychotics aim at reducing manic depressive episode frequency. They tackle episode symptoms as soon as they appear, and they work to stabilize one's mood. Psychotherapy helps patients to work on themselves, notice their triggers, and help them to live a more stable, normal life. Cognitive behavior therapy is a family-based therapy to help one notice their own triggers, notice their stress factors, and to get rid of stress factors and behaviors that cause episodes. Although hospitalization is still available, there are laws that prohibit a person from being unwillingly committed. Hospitalization may be used as a last resort after all other treatment options were unsuccessful or a person presents themselves with suicidal behaviors. In some cases, people voluntarily commit themselves because they want help changing. Life changes include changing one's behavior by themselves. When a person chooses to make life changes, they change everything around them, including friends, work, schooling, anything that causes triggers that bring out bipolar symptoms. Now we're going to review what we learned today. As I stated through my presentation, bipolar is a serious illness in which needs to be treated. Knowing the warning signs and symptoms are very important to overall wellness. When bipolar is treated, it becomes easier to manage a healthier lifestyle. If we look on the board, we'll see a lot of different pictures. Here, we see the rate of Americans in the US with bipolar. Over here, there are symptoms, and many of you must be wondering why there are pictures of random people. As I stated throughout my presentation, bipolar illness can happen to anyone. This is Beethoven. He was a very successful composer who suffered from bipolar I disorder, severe manic episodes. But it's proven that through his episodes, he made his best music. Here we have DMX. We should all know him. He's a rapper. He struggled with bipolar. He hasn't been diagnosed with a certain type, but he also came out to the press and said he struggles from bipolar, and a lot of the lyrics in his music stem from his disease. In the middle, we have Russell Brand. He's a very famous actor who struggles from bipolar I disease. We also have Marilyn Monroe, Amy Winehouse, and Demi Lovato. They're actors and singers who also have bipolar disease. Demi Lovato is currently in treatment. Amy Winehouse died. They were linking it to suicide from her bipolar. She was found dead. Her autopsy showed she took too many pills, and they never found out the reason until they backtracked and found out she struggled from bipolar and refused to get help. And Marilyn Monroe died early, but throughout documentaries, they seeing a lot of symptoms and signs that proved she was bipolar. So this concludes the presentation. I want to thank everybody for coming out tonight. Before we end, are there any questions?
What is your interest in bipolar and why did you do this presentation?
I chose bipolar as my presentation because I struggle with bipolar disorder. In my earlier teen years, I would go through a lot of depression episodes. I rebelled against my parents. I had one case where I cut myself. When I got treatment, my dad helped me, and until today, I still see a counselor to manage my bipolar episodes. I've gotten a lot better because I've chosen to change my life. Back when I used to struggle, I had a lot of friends who would bring out risky behaviors and triggers, and I refused to admit that I had bipolar. I didn't want to believe it when I was diagnosed. But as I got older and I learned more about it, as I've gone to counseling and treatment, I've learned that I do struggle from it, and it had affected me really negatively before in school, home life, pretty much everything. But now that I've got treatment, I've came a far way, and I continue my treatment so that I can live a manageable life, unlike the life I was living before. So, because I've struggled with it, I want other people to be aware and know that it is out there, and although it can't be cured, people with bipolar can live a normal life, and they can get help from anyone.